I have just a few remarks. Maybe I should say a word.
Use your bullhorn.
Can they hear me?
Use it. Use your bullhorn.
You can't hear me.
No, we can't.
All right, bullhorn. Here we go. Just a couple of quick remarks about corporations and personhood. It all started back in the, don't worry, it won't be long. It started back in the Constitutional Convention where they made a little provision that no state can pass a law violating the obligation of contracts. And then Marshall, Chief Justice Marshall in Dartmouth College versus Woodward in 1819, for those of you who like that sort of thing, announced that a corporate charter was a contract. Now that was a major step forward. Remember, no state can pass a law violating the obligation of contracts. So that means no state can pass a law violating a corporate charter. Now, that gave lawyers a lot of things to think about, and along came the 14th Amendment. And there are those who believe that the 14th Amendment was not just aimed at to help blacks, but also corporations. Because no state can deprive a person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Now, get this, if a corporation can make a contract with a state in the form of a charter, that's what a person does. And so people are thinking this through. They said, aha, maybe a corporation could be made a person. So now we got that thing, and the lawyers start working on it. No state may pass a law. Well, you've got it. Anyway, I had the quote right the first time. No state may pass that kind of law which takes away life, liberty, or property of some body without due process of law. Due process being a nice ambiguous subject. So the lawyers began working on the idea that a corporation was a person and could not be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. A state, in other words, could not regulate a corporation. That was the idea. The Santa Clara case, Santa Clara County versus the Southern Pacific Railroad, was very interesting. Kathy got it right. The court reporter, now I don't understand this. I think this guy was a lobbyist. The court reporter for the Supreme Court was an ex-railroad president. Now, so he's taken all the notes. And in the discussion, someone on the court may or may not have said, we do not want to consider that a corporation does not have the rights of a person. We will not hear any arguments to that effect. Now, we don't know for sure that anybody said it. The court reporter took it down. He then passed his minutes on to the CJ, who said, yeah, that's roughly what was said, but who knows for sure. And that went in, and I've got the quote over yonder, but I haven't brought it with me. That went into the head notes of the decision. So now, a corporation is a person. But notice this. There's a big thing going on here. A corporation is a person, not a citizen, a person. But of course, once you've started it, you get the ball rolling more. And lately, in Citizens United, we're coming up with the idea that a corporation has some of the rights of a citizen. Now that is not conservative. You know, all these conservatives who run around saying, what a so-called conservative. The right wing, the radical right likes to call it self-conservative. They all run around saying, wow, isn't that wonderful? Everybody should have rights under the Constitution. Well, I guess everybody's been saying here, a corporation is not a body. It's a legal economic entity. Now, what other rights as citizens might corporations get from the Supreme Court in the next 20 years? God knows. We just don't want to think about that. Now, that's point one. Point two is very simple. I got this nice letter from Congressman Arcuri on April 26, 2010. I imagine many of you had it. It explains why he didn't vote for national health insurance. And the first one is it does not include a public health insurance option. Well, Congressman Arcuri, you can introduce an amendment anytime you feel like it. Or you can help sponsor an amendment anytime you feel like it. There's plenty of time left in the session. That would certainly make me feel a lot better about you. Now, he's got a bunch of other things down here that he didn't like about the bill. All of these things can be put in the form of amendments. It's not rocket science. It can be done. And so I would strongly urge that he do it in the name of conservatism. We want to preserve the middle class. We want to increase the middle class. This is a middle class America. Thank you.
Woo!
Who else wants this? Anyone else want this?